Hey guys, this is Jenna from Hill Valley Farm, and today we're going to talk about a little bit about the weather and what we think might be coming. We don't know for sure, but how we are preparing. So let's get started. Good morning. We are checking on the bucks. Hey Legend, how are you, buddy? That's my buddy. And here's Golden. Come in. You guys always see the does. You really rarely see the bucks. So this is their little home, and they need some hay in that feeder. Not any in that one. And their minerals look good. It's not a horribly warm day, so we'll open one window and leave it at that. Legend has a new spool he's still not really sure about. And X, I don't know what X is doing because there's no food in there, buddy. Yeah, no food. I've let the chickens out. We are hearing of a winter storm that is potentially coming, and I don't know, it's hard to predict weather, I guess, in East Tennessee, because it's literally, the prediction is either ice, which is a horrible idea, like catastrophic ice storm, or snow, which could be a dusting to 24 inches. Who knows? That's how it is here. So we've been prepping as much as we can. I'm off work today. So today is the day we get alfalfa. So I'm going to continue to do the chores and prep. Hi, boys. How are the little boys? Growing. All three of you. Yeah? All three of you. What's it doing? Hi. We have a heated bucket up here, and it's still on the list to finish this building this year, winter. So we check their water. Yep, and we need to redo it because it's pretty low. They drank a lot. They have a big hay feeder in here. There's the hay feeder, and it needs some hay. They have a nice cozy spot. This has been a really good addition. It's just when they're grown and over where the big bucks are, you know, this is just a really nice transition field in case my kid field is weaning doelings. That was really one of the reasons. But another reason is I really can't put the little bucks in, especially during rut with Leroy. He's just too crazy. And by crazy, I mean he's just really rough. And so we just kind of keep them separated. I've actually never had to do that before, but I don't want him potentially hurting one of the little ones. A trick, of course we didn't last night because it didn't freeze, but we typically use that feed bag to cover the standpipe. And it's an old trick that I learned from an older breeder. My mentor told me about that she learned from one of the older breeders. And it keeps things from freezing on the actual pipe. Clearly I need to rewrap it, which I plan to do today, because I don't know who would have ever done anything like that. I mean, goats never mess with anything that you put to help things. I'm being very sarcastic. So I need to rewrap it, but we wrap it with something we got at Tractor Supply. It's almost like a pool noodle and insulation, and then we cover it with a bag when it freezes. And this is their morning breakfast for Butter and Alice right now. Butter is actually starting to get an udder. They are, well, Butter will be 30 days. So, and she's 5 weeks as of now, away from her due date, but 30 days will be Sunday, and 30 days for Alice will be Tuesday. So they're very close in their due dates. Of course, Butter is a pig, but I don't know. I know Butter weighs more just because she's a bigger doe, but Alice is just as wide as Butter is. Kind of hard to tell here, but. And I'm standing guarding because I made a bad decision and did not feed the turkeys first. And I don't know where Luna's right in front of me. So we have 4 turkeys left. We actually sold 2. We sold our older Tom, Ollie, and a 2-year-old hen the other day. So this is Luna, and we have Hedwig next to her. And then Caden's calling that guy back there Tommy. And Hedwig is old. She has a little bit of a limp. And then the hen over there farthest away is the hen that we hatched last year. Actually, Luna hatched. So yeah, we only have 4 turkeys left, which is fine with me. They make a big noise and sometimes a big mess. And then we have our 3 peahens. Now, before I did find a peacock, but I chickened out I'm supposed to get him up, pick him up tomorrow, and I chickened out because of the weather. Because where we're keeping him is an old coop up there. It's hard to see. It's up there. So it's open, very open, and I thought, well, if we have any sort of major weather like cold and snow or ice, that could be a problem for him because we might not be able to get into the door. So I asked the breeder, and he was fine with us waiting to meet. And so anyways, we are hoping to have him very soon for these 3 peahens that we have. 2 are on the goat playground and 1 is down below. And Alice, did Butter steal the rest of the food, or did you just get finished? I think you got finished because it's empty. This is what she's just so loving. She really is. We love Alice. Yes, we do. All right, girls, let's get it going. Gotta finish doing chores. Okay, so, hi girls. What you doing? Looks like some have eaten some hay. So this month, January, they're in what I call the new field, even though it's a couple years old. Alright. So they come out of the barn, and they have this field, and then they go over here and have all of that field right there. And then there's like a section there. Notice they're going towards the other side of the barn. They want that protein tub I've been talking about. And, oh, hi, Elfwin. And May, the older girls. Hello, May. Hello. And then we got Risky and Aurora. I don't know what's up lately. They've always kind of been hands off with Risky. They don't mess with her a whole lot, but lately they've kind of been picking on her, and I don't know why. Okay, so I'm checking the hay. Now, this is never good. We have hay in the water, so I'll be replacing that. And of course someone ate all the hay out of this one. So you'll see like there is some at the bottom that's just packed. We always put hay on the top of that. So, and then I'll put these couple waters out back there for them. So they'll be hanging on the fence in there. Hey, Risky. So Lila, glare. Hi, Lila. She eats on the stand in the morning, every morning. I noticed she had lost a little bit of weight, and she was having issues again, second year in a row with her teeth. She did lose a tooth last year, and I couldn't understand why, and then all of a sudden she was fine, eating, doing all the things that she's supposed to normally do. And she is a beautiful doe, and she has beautiful daughters. So last year I thought was a fluke. This year I thought we were totally fine. And once I bred her, it's like, I don't know, she started that same thing with her teeth. And so I started really researching, and I figured out, I really think she had ulcers, and I think she has excessive acid, and that's why she lost some teeth. And so this year I've really, really stepped up the game on doing ProBios. And I have this stuff from Land of Havilah, GI Back on Track. That stuff has been wonderful for her. Ever since I did the treatment for GI Back on Track, she's been great. And so I just, every time after she eats, I give her this probiotics. It's the big tube, because you just come out money ahead if you do it like that. It has a cap on it, and so you just come over here. It's like a caulk gun, and hold on, let me get out of the glare. One click, and she's good. She loves it. And so then I hang it back up. So I don't really know, other than she had every symptom of ulcer that you could have. And ever since I've been really treating and trying to make her gut healthy and keep it like maintenance, she's been doing really, really good. So with that said, she's gained, I think 12 or 15 pounds since doing all that. And I mean, you can tell she's in really great condition. Lila has always been my herder keeper, and it's one that I don't really want a hard keeper, to be honest. No one does. So it's like I don't feel right selling her, because I don't feel right giving someone else, the problem doe. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like this year with her was harder than last year, and so it's like I don't want to, but it's like I also don't think it's just the breeding her that causes the problems, but we'll see this year. But she was totally good all the time she was in milk. She never had a problem. It was almost like, oh, I'm the easiest keeper on the planet. I don't know, we'll see. So there she goes. I mean, totally, really great condition. It's unreal. Well, good morning, girls. This is the welcoming committee. It's Thyma, Fortissimo, Cindy Lou. We're all going to be first fresheners. We're in the first freshener club. Hey, Butter. And everyone in the in the molasses tub. Yeah. One of the hens. That is a black copper marin hen. I really like my black copper marins. Hello, Staccato. Oh, Fortissimo, you're kind of wide. Hi, Twist. Hi. Yeah, this is not the whole gang, but it's a lot of them. Yeah. So obviously when we talk about cold weather, you've heard me talk about it before, we have hay. So there's hay that in the background over there and hay behind me right here. So we are plenty stocked on hay, thankfully, in the barn. This is the first year where I feel like we actually have enough hay to get us through the winter and into the spring. And so that is a blessing that like you would not imagine. The other thing is in here we have alfalfa. I went and picked that up yesterday. It is Western alfalfa, and it is very good, very expensive. And so for those of you who may have purchased from us this year, thank you so much, because all of the kid money goes towards hay and alfalfa, and that's what we did for the kid sales and goat sales of 2025. And so we also have heated buckets. You can't see them right now, but they are in the stalls. And one is a really big one. It holds, let's see, I'm going to say 6 gallons. And the other one holds the 2 gallons. 2 gallons are just easier to handle. 6 is, you know, harder to handle. But we feel like it's necessary because in order to stay warm, a goat uses water and hay, and it's literally like their furnace inside. I did. The reason why we got alfalfa is because for the heavily bred does like Butter and Alice, even Trisha and Lila, they need that now. And so I know some people will feed their does alfalfa the whole year or throughout their entire pregnancy. I can't do that just right now, just because it's very costly. So we choose to do towards the end of pregnancy and obviously the entire lactation. I did put 1 or 2 leaves of alfalfa in the feeder for Butter and Alice this morning. They got as much as they possibly could before the herd got out. The rest of the herd got out and devoured it. Obviously, when we talk about cold weather, we are concerned about pipes. So we do have a standpipe out here at the barn. I plan to put some more foam around it and zip tie it. We also, like I said, previously, we will put a feed bag over the standpipe. And that just keeps any water that might have been around on the actual pipe to not freeze, so that we can hopefully use it. So our pipe should not freeze. We are talking, and it's not very clear yet on what we're getting. At first, it was, they were calling for either ice or snow, a dusting, when you talk about snow, from a dusting all the way up to 24 inches of snow. I can't even imagine that. I don't want to imagine that. But now, and really, the forecast continues to change. We really don't know what we're going to get. As of right now, the prediction is ice, which that's not good either. And so I would rather have snow, not 24 inches, but so ice is a big problem for so many reasons. It's heavier, it's harder on roofs, it's hard to walk in, you know, that kind of thing. So we're just kind of taking it day by day. The other thing that I will be doing today is getting more straw because we cleaned out the kid area. If you follow us on Facebook, you'll have seen the reel. We completely cleaned out the kid area after the bucklings were in there and the bucks were in there, you know, and so it's completely cleaned and pristine and ready for when we have the does with kids. Well, now if I'm dealing with a lot of bad weather and low temps, like I think we saw the low on one night is 4 degrees. Again, we are not used to that in the South, especially East Tennessee. We're just not used to those temps. The area is not equipped for a lot of snow, a lot of ice, a lot of cold temps for extended period of time. And so I know people up north make fun of us, or out west, whatever. we are not equipped for that. Even our house, we don't have gas heat. You know, it's central heating and air, so it's not like it's super warm. So we are really trying to decide. Well, the bucklings could come back in the barn if we absolutely have to, but I am winterizing their house today. I'm trying to cover up some holes, and also I'm strongly considering a heat lamp in their little hut, because their house, it's the thinner, it's not, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just one little hut versus the barn where you have stalls and it's just warmer. I am considering hanging a heat lamp in the middle stall, but I will say the does have done so well. Their coats are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, where they stand up. It looks like, I don't know, it's almost like they've been electrocuted. They're standing on end, you know, but they are doing what they're supposed to do. They have some good winter coats, so I don't know. I go back and forth. But yeah, so straw is on the agenda today. I went to the feed store. I got all the feed I needed the other day. However, they gave me 2 of the wrong bags, and you would think I would know that when I got it, but all the feed bags look alike, whether you're getting pellets or ration or whatever. I don't know why someone thought that was a good idea, but it's not, to have all the same looking bags. So I have to take those 2 of them back when I get straw. And so, you know, feed, thinking about your standpipe, hay, plenty of bedding, alfalfa for the very pregnant does. My plan was to get alfalfa next week, but this made me, because if it's way too late, like if it's after all this and it's really a mess, it's hard for me to get in and out of the fields with the truck with a bunch of hay on it. So that is what we are trying to do to get ready and prepared. Obviously, and for us, you know, we have groceries and a freezer full of meat. We do have a generator, that kind of thing. I'm not worried about us. But you know, it is the animals. Now the chickens, if it snows, I call chickens, I feel like they're snow stupid. They are, some of them are out there. They don't know what to do in the snow. And so we just put them in the coop and they stay there. We do have chicks that hatched in October. I will never again do that, because it's very hard for them to grow. There's no bugs, there's no grass. They're not getting anything when they're outside. So it's just not a good plan. So we don't have the setup for that. So I'll probably likely never hatch chicks in the fall again. We do have 4 turkeys, and a few peafowl. Depending on what it does will depend on what we do for the turkeys. We have an older hen, Luna, we'll probably put in the coop for those really cold nights. But other than that, the poultry are very, very hardy. I've never had an issue with poultry, unless they were ill, and that was a different situation. But that is really it for the most part. If you have any questions, obviously put them in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until we see you guys again, I hope you have an awesome goat-filled day.